Mei Hatsume comes to the rescue, Class 1A set out on a brand new mission, and the heroes are finally ready for the decisive Second War. Let's talk about all of this and more as we dive right into the newest chapter of My Hero Academia. So, My Hero Academia Chapter 339 is finally out, and with it we learn what the support courses have been getting up to all of this time, as well as what the next step for Class 1A and the heroes will be in the incoming conflict. But before I begin talking about this chapter, I'm first going to go into a quick summary of what happened last time. And as usual, don't forget to Detroit smash that like button and slide on into that subscribe button's DMs to hit that notification bell. In the last chapter, we saw the continuation of the police's, UA teachers, and Class 1A's interrogation of the infamous twinkling traitor family known as the Aoyamas. During this interrogation, 1A desperately pleaded for the sparkling baby twink and their fellow classmate Yuga to reach out his hand and be a hero once more, with the entire class, controversially to say the least, forgiving him fully and wanting to use him to help set up a trap for All for One. However, the majority of the adults in this interrogation are understandably very skeptical of asking the traitor family for help. But 1A's resident father figure and head teacher Shota Aizawa, who is present through a video call on a tablet, agrees with all 20 of his kids that Aoyama should be forgiven. And off-screen, or off-page, he comes up with a mysterious plan involving the Aoyamas. With everyone on board with this plan, the police head off with Yuga and his parents, and Class 1A, with a more personal agenda, get ready for the fight that is to come. Ida and Midoriya, who both need work done under hero costumes, decide to go to the support center, where Midoriya gets a surprise face full of deja vu and of Mei Hatsume. And this is where chapter 339 picks up. This chapter opens up directly where the last chapter left off, with Midoriya quickly leaping away from Mei Hatsume, panicking that his danger sense didn't warn him about Mei's boobs, and Ida asking Mei if she can repair his and Midoriya's hero costumes. Initially, Mei is curious as to why the duo don't just go through the regular procedures to have the repairs done, but Ida explains that with everything going on in the hero world, the office's distribution lines have been crippled. This comment seems to catch Mei by surprise, and Ida and Midoriya come to the realization that Mei has been so caught up in her own work, she has absolutely no idea what is going on in the outside world. Following this realization, the pro hero and the support division development studio manager, Powerloader, you know, this guy, walks out of the now smoky development studio and welcomes our two hero core students into the studio, where he happily informs the duo that they can repair their hero outfits. We then get this image of the now far bigger support item development studio, which we learn is where the new and improved UA security barrier was and is still being developed, and also that UA support classes are in charge of controlling said security barrier when it is operational. I actually really like this little detail that it was UA's own pro heroes and students that made their new defenses. It gives me a sort of homemade feel, which feels more fitting than, oh, in this basically apocalyptic setting, we got some big companies to come in and do this massive job. Plus, it helps make the support classes feel more involved in the war. And speaking of the support classes being involved, Midori and Ida get right to business, and they explain to Mei why they are here and what they need. Midoriya asks Mei to fix his now blown up and damaged mid-gauntlets because it's a prototype item that came from abroad, so he can't just really get a new one, and Ida asks for new hero armor. In hearing the boys' requests, Mei asks if they are in a hurry, to which Midoriya responds with a very serious expression saying yes. And Mei kind of uncharacteristically replies, then unfortunately it's impossible for her to help. She clarifies that with the current state of Midoriya's mid-gauntlets, she would basically have to rebuild them from scratch, and they don't have the material needed to replicate the support item's compression feature. And for Ida, she doesn't have the original manufacturing record, so there is nothing she can do. And with this, Mei turns her back to the boys boys, sits down at her desk and continues her previous work. Midoriya and Ida, shocked the Mad Machine Mechanic Manic Mei Hatsume refuse to take on their job, go over to see what she is currently working on. And we see that Mei is actually working on the development of the UA evacuation blocks, as Mei comments how her plans to have entire blocks of UA fly away in case of an emergency are coming along nicely. Power Loader then explains that Mei was crucial in the creation of the UA barrier, and even now she is still thinking of and working on new functions to increase its security. In hearing this, Midoriya is amazed at all of the work Mei has put in to help, and he comments how it must be because of all of this work that she still has no idea what's going on in the outside world. But as Midoriya says this, Mei scoffs, and she calls Midoriya naive, as she clarifies that in fact she is fully aware of everything that is happening with Hero Society. Mei then goes on to give a little speech saying that since the support class can't fight, the only way they can save more people than the heroes is to keep inventing. And Mei turns to Midoriya and says, "You see, we are the same. Inventions are the support class's way of being heroes." And with this, Mei throws a pair of Air Force gloves attached to mid-gauntlets at Midoriya and some equipment at Ida. As she explains, she didn't replicate them exactly, but applied her own technology to make a similar item. Yes, Mei did in fact make both Deku and Ida's gear in a matter of seconds. What can I say? She's a prodigy. With the requested gear made, Mei leaves the two heroes with some final words before getting back to her work on the UA barrier. Tell everyone in the hero department that victory will be ours. Following this, the story cuts to Midoriya and Ida regrouping with Class 1A, who are preparing to leave UA on a mission with Mount Lady in search of the League of Villains. Class 1A are all still worried about Aoyama, and they begin to wonder if he will take their hand. But Todoroki reassures everyone that he will, because he now has a clear picture of who he wants to become. And after this brief conversation, the scene cuts once more, this time to Kensai, where we see Fat Gum, Tamaki, and Nejire, who now has short hair, saving civilians from a villain. After the villain is defeated, Fat Gum says that the next battle will be nothing like their previous conflicts. Both sides are coming in with everything they have left. It is going to be a total all-out war. And with this, chapter 339 comes to an end, as we see All Might entering a building alongside Hawks, saying that all of the arrangements have been made for their backup plan, and that they are finally ready for this decisive second war. Overall, this was a pretty fun chapter. It was great seeing the support class again, and even though it was small, it's nice to see that they are also involved in the war in their own unique way, whether it's building the UA barrier or with building support items. It also helps to make the school and the My Hero world feel more full and alive. Mei building Ida and Midoriya's gear in a matter of seconds might seem too quick for some, but personally, I thought it fit the current story's pacing. You can really tell Horikoshi is setting up for the end of the series, especially with the ending of this chapter, which is really sad to see, but I am looking forward to see how it all ends. It's also interesting to note that if this is the class's final outfits for the final fight, Midoriya will be going into the final bout wearing his UA gym tracksuit, which would be a pretty cool throwback to his first encounter with the League of Villains. But let me know what you think of this chapter. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like and comment what you think is going to happen next. For more My Hero content, subscribe to the Lunchtime Crew. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Plus Ultra.